What's up, YouTube? This is Elder Stacy Zanders coming to you with another video. But before we begin the video, just like to say subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the like button for the video, and hit that notification bell to get all of these updates on when we release new content. In this discussion, I'm going to be talking about giving you 36 shocking statistics on fatherless homes. And I just want to say, I don't care. It don't matter what culture, color, race, creed, ethnicity, no matter what you are. It is very important for children to have their father around. It's important for them to have their mother around. And I want to debunk the idea, I don't know, of this modern age in which we live in, where a lot of women would say all children need is their mother. That is a horrible, terrible lie. Now, I would admit that no child really needs to be with a parent who is a disgusting, pathetic individual who will neglect, abuse, mistreat the children. It is very wrong. Children are an heritage of the Lord. But it's very important for children to have both father and mother. And I just like to do some of these commentaries just to state the facts. Children need, in order for a child to be whole, if in all normal circumstances they need a father and mother. There are things that mothers contribute to the lives of their children, and there are things that father contribute to the lives of their children. And that child need to be represented by both mother and father. But in this video, we're just going to deal with give you some facts about fatherless homes. All right. So in the United States, there are more than 64 million men who identify themselves as being a father. And out of that figure, only 26.5 million men are part of a home where they are married to a spouse and have children under the age of 18 living there. The U.S. Census Bureau reports that 22% of fathers are raising 3+ children under the age of 18, with all of them being biological relatives. Only 2% of fathers raising children are living in a home of a relative or unrelated individual. There are 2.5 million fathers who are on their own in a single-parent household. In 1970, there were only 400,000 fathers in this situation. 18% of single-parent households recognized by the U.S. Census Bureau are headed by a single father. Fathers, without question, are important. Unfortunately, fathers are not always there. These statistics on fatherless homes show why it is important, even as a single parent, for a father to stick around. Number one, 85% of youth currently in prison grew up in a fatherless home. That's according to the Texas Department of Corrections. 2, 7 out of every 10 youth that are housed in a state-operated correctional facility, including detention and residential treatment, come from a fatherless home. That's the U.S. Department of Justice. 3, 39% of students in the United States from the first grade to their senior year of high school do not have a father at home. Children without a father are 4 times more likely to be living in poverty than children with a father. That's from the National Public Radio. 4, children from fatherless homes are twice as likely to drop out of school before graduating than children who have a father in their lives. National Public Radio. Number 5, 24.7 million children in the United States live in a home where their biological father is not present. That equates to 1 in every 3 children in the United States not having access to their father. 6, girls who live in a fatherless home have a 100% higher risk of suffering from obesity than girls who have their father present. Teen girls from fatherless homes are also 4 times more likely to become mothers before the age of 20. 57% of fatherless homes in the United States involve African American Black households. Hispanic households have 31% fatherless rate, while Caucasian and white households have 20% fatherless rate. In 2011, 44% of children in homes headed by a single mother were living in poverty. Just 12% of children in married couple families were living in poverty. That's the U.S. Census Bureau. Children who live in a single-parent home are more than 2 times more likely to commit suicide than children in a two-parent home. 72% of Americans believe that a fatherless home is the most significant social problem and family problem that is facing this country. That's from the National Center for Fathering. Only 68% of children spend their entire childhood in an intact family. That's the U.S. Census Bureau. 75% of rapists are motivated by displaced anger that is associated with feelings of abandonment that involves their father. U.S. Department of Justice. Number 13, living in a fatherless home is a contributing factor to substance abuse with children from such homes, accounting for 75% of adolescent patients being treated in substance abuse centers. That's the U.S. Department of Justice. Number 14, 85% of children which exhibit some type of behavioral disorder come from a fatherless home. The U.S. Department of Justice. 90% of the youth in the United States who decided to run away from home or become homeless for any reason originally came from a fatherless home. U.S. Department of Justice. 63% of youth suicide involved a child who was living in the fatherless home when they made their final decision. Children who live in a single parent or step family home report less schoolwork monitoring, less social supervision, and lower educational expectations than children who come from a two-parent home. That's the American Sociological Review. Number 18, even when poverty levels are equal, children who come from a two-parent home outperform children who come from a one-parent home. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. With the African American Black community, about 2.5 million fathers live with their children, while 1.7 million fathers are not living with them. The Huffington Post. In a 2014 study, only 3% of single mothers fell into the strongest demographic groups, while 44% fell into the weakest demographic group. About 40% of children in the United States are born to mothers who are not married. Over 60% of these children were born to mothers who were under the age of 30%. 25% of children are the age of 18, currently being raised without the presence of a father around. 50% of single mothers have never married. 29% are divorced. Only 1 in 5 are either separated or widowed. In single mother households, 50% involve just one child. 30% of single mothers are raising 2 children on their own, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Number 25, the median income for households with a single mother is $35,400. The median income for a home with a married couple raises their children is $85,300 in the United States. 2/3 of low-income working families with children are in the African American community, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Over 30% of fatherless homes are classified as being food insecure, yet only 13% of homes will utilize the services of a food pantry. Over 30% of fatherless homes also spend more than half of their income on housing costs, which classifies the household as experiencing a severe housing burden, according to the U.S. Department of Agriculture. In the United States, Mississippi has the highest number of fatherless homes, with 36% of households falling into the category. Louisiana comes in second at 34%, while Alabama is third at 31%, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. Children who live in a fatherless home are 279% more likely to deal drugs or carry firearms for offensive purposes compared to children who live with their fathers. 92% of the parents who are currently in prison in the United States are fathers. Number 30, pregnant women who do not have the support of the father experience pregnancy loss at a 48% rate. When the father is present, the prevalence of pregnancy loss falls to 22%. Number 31, for single dads, 39% of households had a family income which was $50,000 or more. 44% of single dads were divorced, while only 33% had never married, according to the U.S. Census Bureau. 43% of fathers do not see their role as something that is important to their personal identity. 54% of fathers in the U.S. say that parenting isn't enjoyable at all of the time. That's the Pew Research. Number 33, even in homes with fathers, the modern dad spends only 8 hours per week on childcare, which is 6 hours less than the modern mom. On the other hand, 43% of modern dads' time is spent with paid work compared to 25% of time for their modern mom. Dads are spending three times more time with their kids than dads did in 1965, according to the Pew Research. Only 5% of households in the United States say that the ideal situation is to have the mother work and the father stay home to take care of children. That's according to the Pew Research. Number 35, 53% of Americans say that mothers do a better job at parenting than fathers. Only 1% of Americans say that fathers are able to do a better job at parenting than mothers. Number 36, 70% of adults say it is equally important for a newborn to spend time bonding with their fathers and their mothers. There are some flaws to note within the statistics of fatherless homes. Many statistical studies use marital status as a way to distinguish homes with fathers from fatherless homes. Single-parent households where the child lives with the mother may technically be fatherless, yet the children still see their fathers on a regular basis. There are also some children who live with their fathers, yet the man is emotionally distant and rarely present physically, which means they live in a fatherless home, but not for the statistics. Although some of this data may be inflated, what it communicates is still accurate. Fatherlessness is a large problem in African American Black communities of the United States. There are strong correlations between a lack of a father and emotional trauma later in life. To move in the right direction, we must take a realistic approach. Many fathers are out there right now setting a great example for their children, including some who don't live with their children. So we don't want to mistake the fact that there are a lot of men that are spending time with their children, even though they're not living in the same home with their children. I myself being one of them. I see my children quite often. I participate in all of their extracurricular activities. I still purchase all of their clothing. I am consistent, on time, a child support payer. I still buy like their extracurricular activities, buy all of their clothes, things of that nature, and I see them on a very, very often basis, which results in healthy children. Fathers, we need to make sure that we are taking advantage and spending time with our children. It is extremely important to have these statistical data and the facts that will help us make better decisions. But there are a lot of men doing a great job being a father. This is not a put down. This is just making sure that we are aware. See, awareness is the key. When we know better, we can do better. Until the next video, as always, God bless.